Hey, everyone! Welcome back to FX Videos. It's Wednesday, November 13th, 2024, and as always, we're diving deep into the Forex market to break down the major moves from today and set you up with insights for tomorrow's trading session. If you're serious about staying ahead of the trends, stick around, because today was an eventful day, and tomorrow's looking to be just as interesting. Let's start by talking about what went down in the Forex markets today. The US dollar showed some strength in the morning, driven by a slight uptick in treasury yields. This strength played out mostly against the euro and the yen. However, in the afternoon, we saw a shift, largely influenced by fresh economic data. The CPI numbers came in just below expectations, suggesting the inflation battle may be turning. This dip in inflation caused some selling pressure on the dollar, especially against high-yielding currencies like the Aussie and the Kiwi. Meanwhile, over in Europe, the euro struggled to find its footing. Despite some hawkish comments from ECB officials hinting at potential future rate hikes, concerns about sluggish growth in key economies like Germany and France weighed heavy. The euro closed lower against most majors, especially the dollar and the Swiss franc, as investors sought safer ground. Over in Asia, the yen made a slight recovery after being battered earlier in the day. This bounce was largely due to comments from the Bank of Japan hinting they may begin to adjust their policy stance sooner than expected. It's clear that Forex traders are keeping a close eye on any signs of a shift from the BOJ, which could send ripples across the board. Now, let's focus on some specific pairs that deserve your attention for tomorrow's trading session. Starting with US dollar to Japanese yen. As mentioned, the BOJ comments today sparked some movement, and we could see even more action tomorrow if Japanese economic data hints at higher inflation or wage growth. Right now, US dollar to Japanese yen is hovering near a critical support level around 148.50. If that level breaks, it could open the door for a sharper move down to 148 or even the 147 range. But if buyers step in, we might see a push back up toward the 150 mark. Next, we have the euro-dollar, or euro to US dollar. With the euro under pressure from weak economic signals in Europe, tomorrow's data from Germany and France will be crucial. If we get weak numbers, we could see euro to US dollar test the 1.0700 level. But if the dollar pulls back due to weaker than expected US data, the euro might find some relief. For now, the key support sits around 1.0750, while resistance lies closer to 1.0820. Moving on to pound sterling to US dollar, or the pound dollar. The British pound saw some volatility today as investors reacted to mixed signals about the UK economy. Tomorrow's GDP release will likely drive this pair. If growth numbers beat expectations, we might see a rally back toward 1.2300. But a disappointing report could send the pair down toward the recent support level around 1.2150. Finally, let's talk about the Australian dollar to US dollar. With commodities taking a hit and inflation still running high, the Aussie has been facing some challenges. However, if we see any surprising developments in China's economic data tonight, we could see a reaction here. Australian dollar to US dollar is trading near the 0.6500 level, with resistance at 0.6540 and support closer to 0.6450. Keep an eye on these levels, especially if risk sentiment changes overnight. Let's look at what's on the calendar for Thursday, November 14th. UK GDP report. Early in the morning, we have the UK GDP report. As mentioned, this will likely impact the pound, especially pound sterling to US dollar. A surprise here could move the entire market, so set your alerts. European industrial production data. Next up, Europe's industrial production numbers are due out. This report will be key for euro to US dollar traders, as a weaker than expected result could amplify the selling pressure on the euro. US jobless claims. And finally, we have the weekly jobless claims from the US. These numbers can give us a pulse check on the labor market and might influence the dollar, especially if we see an unexpected spike or drop in claims. In terms of market sentiment, risk aversion is still prominent. With inflation cooling and the US central banks might begin dialing back their hawkish stances, which could support risk-sensitive currencies like the AUD and NZD. But don't underestimate the potential for volatility in the yen and dollar pairs, especially if Japanese and US data continue to surprise. So, there you have it, today's Forex highlights and what to watch for in tomorrow's session. It's clear the markets are reacting strongly to economic data, and central bank guidance will likely keep adding fuel to the fire. As always, manage your risk carefully, especially with some of these key events around the corner. If you found today's analysis helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for daily Forex insights. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on today's market action, and let us know which pairs you're keeping an eye on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's update.